As more and more features and info seem to leak out about GTA 6, fans like us have been in a daze. All kinds of wonderful things are swimming around inside our heads as we fantasize about getting our hands on a copy of the game in the coming years. If, like us, you have been neck deep in Rockstar's latest developments, then there may be a few things that you might have missed. So here are 50 of the features that have more or less been confirmed in GTA 6. We're back in the city of Vice. While it might be obvious to anyone following the game, the modern version of Vice City that we'll get to play in will be a lot different to the previous versions based in the 80s. Not only that, but we're also going to get to explore surrounding areas and counties as well. Rockstar's takes on famous locations like the Florida Keys and the Everglades will probably have lore-friendly names like the Vice City Locks or the Neverglens. There are rumors that we will see more cities in the future. Rockstar have stated that the initial release will be a lot smaller than previous games. However, they've been keen to stress that they are planning on expanding on the game and releasing new content over time. This could include new locations and cities to travel to, possibly with extensions to the single-player game as well as the planned online mode. There are 2 new protagonists. Introducing Jason and Lucia, 2 new protagonists that appear to be romantically involved. Their romance will be a defining feature of the main story and will develop over time and shift with player decisions. Switching between the characters will be a lot faster. As seen in the leaked material, when the player switches between Jason and Lucia, the change appears to be instant. While GTA 5 achieved a similar effect only when the characters were on missions together, it looks like having Jason and Lucia in close proximity is the way the game is meant to be played. The inventory system has had an overhaul. Taking a leaf from Red Dead Redemption 2, the characters will now have an inventory that will be able to carry things like consumable foods, tools, and healing items. Jason and Lucia will also have a shared inventory, adding credence to the theory that Jason and Lucia are meant to be played together. They will not only have their own inventories, but it looks like they will have a shared one as well. The 2 of them should be able to use it to complement one another during heists and story missions. The magic weapon wheel is gone. Coupling a more immersive inventory with a new way to carry weapons, the magical weapon wheel is no more. You won't be able to carry every weapon under the sun, stored in some unseen prison wallet. Instead, you will be able to conceal small-barreled weapons. That being weapons like handguns. Longer weapons like rifles will need to be carried over a shoulder and will not be able to be concealed. Equipable bags seem to add to inventory capacity. Whether it's for specific missions or heists remains to be seen, but it does look like you'll be able to equip a duffel bag in order to carry tools of the thieving trade and more of your ill-gotten loot. Weapon interactions and animations will be a lot more detailed. Reloading animations, the gunshots, and threatening NPCs will be a lot more immersive than in previous GTA games. We may even see cool little details like reloading a fresh clip from a half-empty one, leaving a round in the chamber. Cool little details like that can go a long way. Jason will have a sort of sixth sense ability. Not so much supernatural senses, but more of a keen eye for scoping things out, noticing things that other people don't. It will work like most games with some form of detective mode, where small details are visually highlighted. You can fill up your inventory with all kinds of food and drink. It's unclear at the moment how these consumable items will work. They might heal you or offer stat boosts, and they might make your character gain weight if too much junk is consumed. Medical items seem to vary and their own separate hotbar. From the looks of it, medical items will play a role in keeping Jason and Lucia fighting fit. How they will work is unclear, but it seems like your character's health will be a lot more complicated than a health bar that goes up or down. NPC conversations will be a lot more immersive. NPCs will react to the player in different ways depending on the circumstances. If you're openly brandishing a weapon, they will absolutely notice and shout things like, "Look out, they've got a gun!" Also, depending on which character you're playing as, and NPCs will talk to them differently. Jason will be treated with all the privilege that comes with being a gruff white dude, while Lucia will have to deal with catcalls from gross perverts. You will be able to carry and hide bodies. Although it was only spotted briefly in the leaked footage, it seems like handling bodies will feature as part of new stealth mechanics in the game. It could also be used as part of the main story, where those who need to disappear can be thrown to the Everglade Gators. Going prone is also doable now. While crouching in GTA games has always been a thing since they introduced a few simple stealth missions, it looks like you'll now be able to fully embrace the dirt. It wasn't shown if you can fire from this position with a rifle, but it would be pretty silly if you couldn't. The attention to detail on clothing is much higher. Blood, sweat, dirt and wrinkles are going to appear on your character and their clothes, soiling them as they carry out their criminal acts, vastly improving on previous systems to make characters feel more alive. Your life is about to be invaded, not just by the game when it comes out, but the Life Invader social media platform that exists within the GTA established universe will feature in the game, adding tidbits of lore and information throughout the story mode. Canonically, GTA 6 will come after the events of GTA 5. This has been confirmed by a few lines of dialogue referencing the death of Jay Norris, a character who died during the GTA 5 story. Another social media platform called What Up is also set to feature. There are no guesses here as to what real-life app this one is referencing. It's surprising that Rockstar didn't go with it sooner, as easily available encrypted messaging apps have been used freely by criminals all over the world. A drivable hovercraft has been seen in the game. It looks similar to the Vortex from previous GTAs, but we're not sure if it will have the same name or follow the same sort of style and movement. You'll have to watch out for CCTV. Certain locations, especially in more upper crust neighborhoods and places that have a lot of value to steal, will be covered by watchful eyes of CCTV cameras. You will have to find ways to avoid them or shut them off entirely. Just like in GTA 5, certain cars will only spawn in corresponding environments. Don't expect to see flash sports cars in the middle of a rural small town and vice versa. Beat-up pickups will look pretty out of place in the middle of the city. More items will be interactable. An example of this was seen during a store robbery scene, where a cashier fills a bag with cash and throws it towards the player. Whereas GTA 5 would have the bag and the cash automatically added to the player's cash count, GTA 6 will require the player to physically pick up the bag of cash and escape with it. Switching shoulders will be possible. A well-loved feature from Red Dead Redemption 2 was the ability to switch shoulders when aiming your weapons. It's good to see it making a debut in GTA. More building interiors. After it was leaked that Rockstar had sent location scouts to look specifically inside buildings across the Sunshine State, it became clear that we were going to see a lot more detailed building interiors in this GTA. A welcome addition indeed, as it looks like we're going to be exploring a lot more indoor locations as well as outdoor ones, from stores to rob to giant hotels, museums, and art galleries. Speaking of robbing stores, in a scene from the leaked footage, we saw Jason and Lucia robbing a store called Hank's Waffles. Not only did the whole scene seem tense enough, but a police response timer could be seen on screen. We don't know if this timer will be visible to the player in the final version of the game, but what we do know is that police won't immediately spawn in the second the player commits a crime. Stunt jumps are back. For all the adrenaline junkies out there will be plenty of places to throw your characters from at high speed in bikes, boats, and cars. There'll even be places for you to make up your own ways to rack up airtime. You will be able to drop your weapons on the ground. Why you'd want to do this might not seem obvious, but remember, you won't be able to carry them all in a magic weapon wheel anymore. Also, you can surrender to the police. So naturally, you'll probably need the ability to be able to drop your weapons. We don't know what the consequences will be when you are busted, but if you'd rather not get wasted, it's now an option. Car chases will feel a lot more action-packed. If you'd rather not surrender to the police, then you can always give chase. If you have one character in the back of a pickup, they can use the flatbed as a firing platform. Instead of a zoomed-out view of the entire car, the view will be a close-up over the shoulder, as it would be if your character was shooting from the ground. If you don't have a pickup truck, don't worry. You will be able to lean out of any of the passenger windows for a full 360-degree view. Random events are possible within the game world. During some of the leaked footage, we see Lucia walking through a place called the Kingston Hotel. A pop-up appears in view, suggesting that a random event called Cop Trap can appear here. We don't know what exactly this cop trap is, but we do know that random DUI checks can appear in the game world, but it's unclear if the player will be stopped or not. You can use your gun underwater. Well, it's been shown that you can at least aim it. While it is true that some weapons can be fired while filled up with water, some cannot. We're not sure if Rockstar went that far into their firearm research, but it will be cool to see. GTA 6 Online will not have dedicated servers. However, after news broke that Rockstar hired the developers behind CFX.RE, it's plain to see that their online mode is going to support mod development, improving on players' online experience and allowing them to play the game that they want to play. The online mode will be limited to 32 players. A bit of a disappointment to fans, but depending on how Rockstar designs the game, it may not be a bad thing. Too many people in one giant lobby might cause untold chaos. The map will be full of things to do and see. Everything from nightclubs, mini-golf, driving ranges, riverboats, etc. Even the gumball machines can be used. A fully functioning metro system will be available to the player. If you want to give your driving feet a break, you can use the Vice City Metro. Modeled after its Miami counterpart, it even runs straight to the city's airport. Noises will change dynamically depending on your environment. For example, gunshots will sound differently depending on whether you are inside or outside. They will also be muffled heavily if they are being fired indoors, but you, the player, are outdoors. Speaking of gunshots, Rockstar have made a lot of improvements into how the weapons in the game look, feel, and sound, paying special attention to making gunshots sound a lot more realistic. Lockpicking will feature in the game. One of the new items seen are lockpicks. We don't know if this will involve some form of minigame, but it will be fun if it does. Regardless, breaking and entering is designed to be more complicated and require more thought from the player. The docks can be looted. What appeared to be some sort of mini heist at the docks in the leaked footage showed Jason breaking into a shipping container. Inside was a very flash-looking car, which of course, Jason steals. You will be able to intimidate NPCs. This option will appear as a button prompt whenever you aim your weapon at an NPC, possibly to get them to surrender or hand over their belongings. Your characters will move like real people. This will include everything from how they move, walk, and run, even going as far to have them run out of their inertia when going from a full sprint to a stop. They will take some time to slow down to a jog, then walk. So, doing a 180 will take time. Jason and Lucia won't be able to magically turn on a dime and gun down someone behind them. They'll have to stop, skid, and change directions. Like the rest of us human people, although you will be able to shoot behind you while moving forward. The leaks did show the characters perform a sort of turn from their hips when aiming behind them. Unfortunately, we can't show you the footage. So, imagine a rugby player passing a ball, but instead of a ball, it's bullets. Another new item is cable ties. Using these, you'll be able to tie up hostages when you rob a store, possibly to use them as human shields from law enforcement that could quickly surround and overwhelm you otherwise. Vehicles will take damage like real ones. Unlike previous GTAs, the vehicles in-game won't have an invisible health denoted by different colored smoke from the engine block. The engine will steam after only one collision, indicating that the radiator has been ruptured, showcasing Rockstar's perfectionist levels of attention to details. There won't be a 6-star wanted level. The 5-star wanted level will be the highest achievable level in the game. Despite what many fans have been excited for, things won't be able to get so crazy that the army will be called in. There will be over 1,300 random events in the game. These will range from random interactions with NPCs and police forces to store robberies where no interaction will be the same. Police will remember you. If you are seen entering a vehicle while you are wanted, the vehicle will be remembered even after you lose your wanted level. The car will be hot, and if you're spotted in it again, you'll have to lose the police all over again. So there you have it. 50 features that have been more or less confirmed. Obviously, these can still be subject to change as the game is still being made. Most of these were seen in the leaked material, so it's perfectly possible that they may be chopped and changed as we get closer to release. What are you excited for, dear viewer? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more from all things GTA and Rockstar, then why not open your heart to YouTube's algorithm? It loves you. It wants to serve you. Do not be afraid. Like, subscribe, enjoy, obey.